We've all encountered the stories, haven't we? You know, the chosen one in myths, books, those big blockbuster movies.
Oh, yeah.
They seem like they were just born with some special destiny, maybe a unique power, or, I don't know, an ancient lineage.
Right. It's a very familiar, almost fabled image. It's really deep in our collective imagination.
Totally. But what if our source for this deep dive, the making of the chosen ones, a spiritual journey, what if it reveals something completely, well, surprising?
Hmm.
What if chosen ones aren't born at all, but they're actually made?
Now, that is a provocative idea, isn't it? The source just flips that whole traditional narrative around.
Completely.
It suggests these people are, and I'm quoting here, forged through a series of tests that most people never even recognize.
Okay, forged, not born. And crucially, these aren't the kind of grand physical quests you might think of, right? Like battling dragons or climbing impossible mountains.
Exactly. That's not it at all.
That's such a critical distinction. We're talking about spiritual, mental, and emotional trials. The source calls them the most profound, the most difficult challenges any person can really face.
Mm-hmm.
Deep internal stuff.
Yeah, internal crucibles, not external hurdles.
Yeah.
So our mission today really is to unpack these unique transformative trials. We want to explore not just what they are, but why they're so important and how the people who navigate them come out forever changed.
And for you, the listener, think of this deep dive as maybe a shortcut to understanding a really profound journey of self-discovery.
Right.
We're hoping to share insights that might even resonate with your own experiences, with growth and challenge, maybe help you reframe things in your own life through this lens.
Okay, so let's peel back the layers then. Let's start right at the beginning of this journey. The source suggests the first test, and maybe the most daunting one, is confronting the raw truth of who you actually are.
I mean, we spend so much of our lives building identities, don't we? Based on our job, our relationships, our stuff. They're like these elaborate masks we show the world.
You do.
So what makes this initial stripping away so challenging? And why is it considered the foundational test?
Well, it's not just about, self-awareness in a simple sense. It's the fundamental deconstruction you need before any real rebuilding can even happen.
Deconstruction. Okay.
Yeah, think of like a sculptor who has to chip away all the excess stone or clay before the true form inside can be revealed. This test is that initial and often pretty painful removal.
Right.
It's a necessary stripping away of all that external validation to find what's authentically you at the core. The source suggests most people actually back away from this because, well, the maskless self feels raw, unfiltered.
Vulnerable.
Very. It exposes who we are when all those comforting labels are just gone. The key insight here really is that you just can't build your true purpose on a foundation of borrowed identities. It won't hold.
Okay, so once you've managed to peel back those initial layers, maybe stared into that void of self a bit, the journey throws another big hurdle at you. The source calls this the test of isolation. Now, in our world, which is just constantly noisy, hyper-connected, the idea of genuine solitude can feel almost alien, maybe even terrifying for some.
It really can.
So how does the source explain why this deliberate isolation, this mental and emotional solitude is so crucial? What's the point beyond just, being alone?
It's actually a fascinating inversion of how we normally operate, our modern default setting.
Right.
The source really highlights that it's in this profound silence, away from all that disruptive noise of the outer world,
Yeah.
that these chosen ones find the unvarnished truth of who they are and what they're really meant to be.
So silence isn't empty.
Not at all.
Yeah.
It becomes a sanctuary. It's fertile ground for really deep internal work. It's all about turning inward when literally everything in society is pushing you to look outward.
Yeah.
And it's not just about being physically alone that's important to grasp. It's about being mentally and emotionally solitary, really confronting your own thoughts, your fears, your desires without any external distraction.
Okay. And after confronting yourself in that quiet space, what comes next, sounds like?
Well, it sounds like a constant fight against our own human nature. The test of letting go.
Yes.
We all cling to things, don't we? Grudges, old expectations, past hurts, even just the idea of how life should be. These attachments can really anchor us.
They absolutely can.
But the source says mastering this letting go isn't weakness. It's actually immense strength. Can you elaborate on that and maybe give us an example of what this letting go might actually look like?
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. This act of letting go is often misunderstood. People see it as resignation, maybe weakness.
Right.
But the source emphasizes it requires incredible fortitude, real self-trust. It's described as a continuous process, actually, a constant practice of releasing attachments to specific outcomes, to people, even to ideas we treasure about ourselves or the world. So, like what?
Well, for instance, it might mean letting go of a career aspiration you've held for years, one that brings you external validation, maybe, but no longer feels true to your path.
Okay, that's tough.
Or it could be releasing deep resentment towards someone who wronged you, not for their sake, but really for your own liberation, to free yourself from that weight.
I see.
The ability to release freely and often, especially when life throws curveballs that make you want to cling even tighter, that really shows their internal resilience. It's a true testament to their strength.
This next phase, it sounds incredibly intense, maybe the most daunting one described in the source, the dark night of the soul. This isn't just framed as a difficult time, it's described as something that shatters everything the Chosen Ones believed in. Relationships might dissolve, careers vanish, their sense of purpose just disintegrates. It leads to this profound inner turmoil.
Yep.
For those of us, hopefully, who haven't experienced something quite that drastic, how does the source define what this truly is? And why is it considered such a pivotal and often shattering experience?
It's important to understand this challenging phase, the dark night of the soul, as the source calls it, it isn't just, a period of sadness or feeling down.
More than the blues.
Much more. It's a profound existential crisis, often described as a complete dismantling of your reality, your foundational beliefs, your key relationships, even your sense of who you are and why you're here. They're systematically stripped away. You're left in this void of uncertainty.
Wow.
But it's not presented as some kind of punishment. It's framed more as a necessary phase of purification, of evolution.
Yeah.
It systematically removes everything that isn't genuinely connected to your soul's path.
Pushes you right to the edge.
Exactly. It pushes individuals into the very depths of their being. Now, many people in those darkest moments might succumb to despair, understandably. But the chosen ones, it said, find their innermost light here. They explore depths they never knew they had, holding on to hope even when the path forward is completely invisible.
Okay, so to navigate something that disorienting, that shattering, like the dark night of the soul, you'd absolutely need an incredible anchor, wouldn't you?
You certainly would.
And that leads us straight into the next hurdle, the test of faith. Now, the source clarifies this isn't necessarily faith in a strictly religious sense.
Right.
It's more like a deep, unwavering trust. Trust in oneself, trust in the universe, trust in life itself. When you're in that existential void we just talked about, what kind of faith does the source say is needed to get through that darkness and keep going?
It demands immense trust in what you can't see. It's about acknowledging the pain, acknowledging the loss, definitely, but also trusting that there's a greater purpose unfolding, even if it's completely incomprehensible at the time.
So trusting the process, even when it hurts like hell.
Exactly. Their faith is tested relentlessly. There's always the temptation to lose hope, to give up. Yet somehow they continue trusting and moving forward. This isn't about blind optimism, like just putting on a happy face.
No.
It's a deep inner knowing, a conviction that even when everything feels like it's collapsing around you, there's a reason for it. A bigger plan is unfolding. And this unwavering perseverance, even when the way ahead is totally obscured, that really highlights their profound inner conviction.
Building on that deep faith, the next stage is, well, it's possibly the hardest of all. The test of surrender.
Surrender. Yes.
This is where strength seems to meet humility. It requires letting go of control, fully surrendering to the flow of life, recognizing that it's governed by forces far greater than just our individual will. Now, we humans, we naturally crave control, right? We plan, we organize our lives meticulously. How do the chosen ones manage to overcome this really fundamental human tendency? And what does true surrender actually look like in this context?
You're absolutely right. The desire for control is deeply ingrained in us. But the source suggests the chosen ones come to recognize control for what it is, largely an illusion.
An illusion.
Yeah, or at least a resistance against the natural unfolding of life. So they learn to willingly surrender to a higher intelligence. Or you could say the innate wisdom of the universe.
But it's not giving up.
No, definitely not giving up. It's actually a profound act of alignment with life's flow. Imagine swimming downstream with a powerful river instead of constantly fighting against its current. That's surrender.
Okay, I get that image.
True surrender involves relinquishing control over your ego, your identity, your desires, even dreams you've held dear. It's about trusting completely in life's greater, sometimes unfathomable plan. It's a really profound shift in perspective.
So after enduring all of that, confronting themselves, embracing isolation, learning to let go, surviving the dark night, cultivating that deep faith, and finally surrendering, they arrive at the last one, the test of awakening.
The culmination.
Yeah, this doesn't sound like a challenge of endurance anymore, but more one of profound realization. What exactly is revealed to them at this ultimate stage, and how does it sort of tie together all these previous struggles?
Well, in this ultimate moment, the Source suggests the veil is truly lifted. The chosen ones awaken to the profound truth that they aren't separate from life, but they are life itself, just expressing through their unique form.
Wow, okay.
They realize they aren't victims of their circumstances, but actually intricate, essential pieces of a grand cosmic puzzle. All the struggles, all the tests before, however painful they were, they were actually designed in a way to systematically strip away those illusions, revealing their true essence and helping them understand their unique purpose. It's described as a moment of incredible clarity and liberation.
So what does that mean for just, daily living after awakening?
Well, the Source tells us that upon awakening, chosen ones see their purpose isn't some distant goal they have to strain to achieve.
Right.
It's something woven into every single moment they live. They're now free to live with genuine purpose, with deep meaning, and true joy, because they're no longer fettered by that lingering fear or self-doubt.
Their whole understanding is transformed.
Completely. Their understanding of life and self is utterly changed, and they step into this new phase of creating, loving, exploring with a renewed freedom and just a profound sense of self. This whole journey really redefines what it means to be chosen, doesn't it?
It really does.
It's not about being special at birth, but about actively choosing to undergo and endure this profound internal transformation.
And so we come towards the close or deep dive into the making of the chosen ones. This path, as we've definitely explored, is arduous, it's intensely transformative, and it's certainly not for everyone.
No, it demands immense resilience, a real willingness to face the deepest, sometimes darkest parts of yourself, and frankly, a depth of character that few possess.
But those who do endure these challenges, they undergo these profound transformations we've talked about.
They really do. They awaken to their true selves, their true purposes. They learn to transcend the bounds of fear, of external control, of the ego's demands. In the end, this journey becomes a powerful testament to the strength of the human spirit and the immense power of genuine awakening.
So a question that remains, the one posed by our source, is really for you, the listener. Are you ready to perhaps embark on this arduous, transformative journey to discover if you too might be one of these chosen ones? Maybe consider which of these profound tests might already be showing up in your own life. Perhaps they're disguised as everyday challenges or those moments of deep introspection we all have sometimes. What steps might you consciously take to engage with these kinds of deeper personal challenges, to uncover your own innermost light, your true essence?